Hi kids. Hello mom and dad. Hey everyone. Welcome to Mathematics for Humanity episode number 001. Today we'll be dealing with knowing, reading and writing numbers. For this and the upcoming videos, I will be using mostly English, some Espanol, some Bisaya words as used commonly by the Filipino language. These videos and the coming ones are intended to help students. Ayuda para sa mga estudiantes who are struggling to understand mathematics. These will also assist parents in guiding young kids towards learning math. Lastly, feel free to comment because your comments are most welcome here for the improvement of this and the upcoming videos in order to make learning more fun and easier for everyone. So today we're going to start with real numbers. Real numbers are one-dimensional numbers wherein the usual and ordinary numbers that we know are found. These numbers can be found in supermarkets, in books, in magazines, and there are many kinds. There are several kinds of numbers. The first kind are integers. We have here integers and examples of integers. Ejemplo in Visaya. We have 29. We have -4. And then we have 100,385. Those are examples of integers. By the way, you can see a number here that's -4. There are actually two types of numbers. One type is positive and the other type is the negative. Are the negative numbers. And in between these types is the number 0. But we will deal with the negative numbers in the future videos. So stay tuned, or you can stay tuned for that video and um, get to know negative numbers in the future. There are other kinds, lahi nga klase nga numbers. These are called decimal numbers here. And decimal numbers are characterized by the point, the decimal point that's found between the numbers. For example, we have negative 6.070809. The other one is 0.234. The other one is 39,970.3. All of the three numbers there have a point included in the expression of that number. So that's the point, the decimal point there. There's also another kind of numbers na pula in klase, and this is called fractions. And we are given here examples. One is 3/4. The other one is 71/50th. We have also 26, 89, 90th. 26 and 89, 90th. The first one you can see in this number, the numerator, which is the number above the line, and the denominator, which is the number below the line. You have 3, the numerator, as the numerator and 4 as the denominator, and you can see that 3 is less than 4. And we call this as a proper fraction. The other one, you have negative 71 over 50, and you notice that 71 is greater than 50. The numerator is greater than the denominator. So we call that fraction improper fraction. And we also have a mixed number, wherein you have a whole number and a fraction on the side. So those are also three types of fractions. We also have this kind of number called irrationals. And examples are given here. We have negative pi. Numerically, this is equal to negative 3.14 15, followed by a long sequence of numbers which we represent by the three dots here. We don't have space to write all those numbers because it's very long and no one knows if it terminates or not. We also have square root of 2 as an example, and that square root of 2 is equivalent to 1.414 followed by a very long sequence of number. And then we also have natural logarithm of 3, which is represented by or is equivalent to 0.4771 followed by a long sequence of number, which we will not write anymore because that's very long, or who knows, it will end or not. The 0, as I've said earlier, is the number between the negative or the middle of the negative and positive numbers. 0 can be represented by this symbol or this symbol or that symbol, but those means 0. So it's all 0. Or you can write it simply as this symbol. And we also have the number 1, which is the first counting number that we know. This is 1. And it can be represented by this symbol or this one in decimal form or positive 1.0. You don't have to worry because the value is still 1. There are symbols because numbers are abstract. Numbers are only in our brain. But there are simple symbols that represent the numbers, or even you can represent it by objects. For example, here we can see from here that there's a symbol here representing the number 0, and there's no object representation to that. That's nothing. In English, we call that 0. In Espanol, cero. Sa Bisaya, wala. We also have this symbol representing the number 1. And you have an object here that represents that number. In English, that's 1. In Espanol, uno. Sa Bisaya, isa or usa. This symbol represents the number 2. And you have here 2 black boxes. In English, that's 2. In Espanol, dos. Sa Bisaya, duha. Here is the number that represents 3. In figures, you have 3 black boxes there. I used to represent the idea of that number. And then it's called 3 in English. In Espanol, tres. Sa Bisaya, gitawag na siya og tulo. And then this symbol represents the number 4. You have figures here representing the number 4 also. And in English, we call that 4. In Espanol, cuatro. Sa Bisaya, upat. You also have this symbol for the number 5, represented here by these 5 black squares. That's 5. In Espanol, cinco. Sa Bisaya, lima. And then you have this number 6. I mean the symbol representing the number 6. And you have these figures. You can count the figures as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then in Espanol, that's seis. Sa Bisaya, it's uno. By the way, I included here the terms in Espanol because, or in Spanish, because we are also using those words as we talk to, or as we do our conversations in our Filipino language. This one represents this symbol represents the number 7, and you have this boxes here. If you count, that's 7 black boxes representing the idea of the number 7. So you have 7 in English, in Espanol, siete, sa Bisaya, pito. And then you have this number for you have this symbol for the number 8. And you have this figure object representations of the number 8. You have 8 black boxes also. And this one in English is 8. That's the spelling of 8. And then in Espanol, ocho, walo, sa Bisaya. And then this number, or this symbol, represents the number 9. And this is also represented in terms of objects, 9 black boxes here. So that's 9. In Espanol, nueve. In Bisaya, siyam. And then here you have 10. The symbol for 10, 1, 0. And this is the objects for 10. This is 10. In Espanol, diez. In Bisaya, pulo. Here, you have representations of numbers beyond the number 10. We have 11. So if you count the black squares here, it's 11. And then that's 11 in English. In Espanol, once. Sa Bisaya, pulo ug usa. Then you have the symbol representing the number 12. That's doce in Spanish. Sa Bisaya, pulog duha. 13. 13, this is the spelling of 13 in English. And then we call that trece in Espanol. Sa Bisaya, pulog tulo. By the way, pulog is a contraction of pulo ug. So that's pulog tulo. And then this one represents the number 14. In English, that's 14. That's the spelling of 14. In Espanol, 14. Or in Bisaya, that's pulog upat. Here. Then you have the symbol representing 15. You can count the black boxes here. That's 15. Here, only here. And then you have here 15. And then in Espanol, you have 15. In Bisaya, pulog lima. Then you also have the number representing, or the symbol representing the number 16. And here is the figure representing the number 16, which is of course greater than the number 15. 1 greater than. 1 black square more than 15. So you have 16 in English. In Espanol, 16. In Bisaya, 16. Okay? And then you have a symbol representing the number 17. And this is also the figure representation or object representation. 17, 17 in Espanol, sa Bisaya, 17. And then this is the number representing 18. En Espanol, 18. In Bisaya, 18. This is also the number representing 19. This is 19. En Espanol, 19. In Bisaya, 19. This is the symbol representing the number 20. 20. En Espanol, 20. In Bisaya, sa Bisaya, 20. These are the symbols of numbers beyond, in tens. Here you have the symbol 10 representing the number 10. In Espanol, 10. Sa Bisaya, usa ka pulo or pulo. Simply, pulo. Then 20, you have 20 for 20. In Espanol, 20, duha ka pulo. You have 30 for 30. In Espanol, 30. Sa Bisaya, tulo ka pulo. You have here 40 to represent 40. In Espanol, 40. Sa Bisaya, upat ka pulo. And then you have 50 representing 50. In Espanol, 50. Sa Bisaya, 5 ka pulo. You also have 60 as symbol representing the number 60. En Espanol, 60. Sa Bisaya, 6 ka pulo. And then 70 represents the number 70. En Espanol, 70. Sa Bisaya, 7 ka pulo. And then you have 80 representing the number 80. En Espanol, 80. Sa Bisaya, 8 ka pulo. And then you have 90 here. The symbol 90 representing the number 90. En Espanol, 90. In Bisaya, 9 ka pulo. And the 100 here represents the number 100 or 100. 100 or 100. In Espanol, 100. Un means a or one. Or 100, you can simply say 100 in Espanol. In Bisaya, that's pulo ka pulo o usa ka gatos. That's for the numbers in tens. Then we have numbers in hundreds. Here. So this one represents 100, 100 or 100. In Bisaya, that's usa ka gatos. This is 200 for 200. In Espanol, 200. Sa Bisaya, duha ka gatos. Then you have here 300, number 300. In Espanol, 300. Sa Bisaya, tulo ka gatos. And then you have 400 here. In Espanol, 400. In Bisaya, upat ka gatos. Then you have the symbol for 500 here in English. That's 500 in Espanol. Sa Bisaya, 5 ka gatos. And then here for 600 in English, in Espanol, 600. Sa Bisaya, 1 ka gatos. Then you have this symbol for 700 in English. En Espanol, 700. In Bisaya, 7 ka gatos. You have here 800 in English. In Espanol, 800. Sa Bisaya, 8 ka gatos. You have here the symbol for 900 in English. In Espanol, 900. Sa Bisaya, 9 ka gatos. You also have here the symbol for 1,000. In Espanol, 1,000. In Bisaya, 1,000. So, at least you know now how the numbers are represented by symbols and how to read them. So, examples. Example, ejemplo, ejemplo. Examples, ejemplos, ejemplos. So, here, we are now going to read and write numbers. This one, 27, that's 20 and 7, or simply 27. This one is 36 or 36, or 36 in Spanish. This is 58 o 58 in Espanyol, o 58. This one is 94. This one is 41. It has also an equivalent Spanish name for that, and also Bisaya name for that. But in this case, we'll just do it in English. Here you have this number. You can read this as 999 or 999. This one, you have 415 or 415. That's how you read the numbers. More examples coming up. Here you have 3-digit numbers. 3-digit numbers means you have a set of 3 numbers. Like this one is, you have the first digit as 5, the second digit as 1, and the third digit as 8. And this you can read as 518 or 518. This one you can read as 782 or 782. This one is 123 or 123, or 123 in Spanish or in Espanol. This one is 707 or 707. This one is read as 650 or 650, or informally you can just read this as 650. There's also this number. This is 912 or 912, or en español 912. This one is 344 or 344, en español 344. Sa Bisaya, 3 upat kapulo ug upat. So that's how you read the numbers. So you can now convey to young kids how to read these numbers, and even young kids would be able to at least to read these numbers repeatedly as they watch this video. Next, how to read large numbers. How are these numbers read? This one. So in this case, you have a very large number, which is, if we count the number of digits, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. There are 15 digits of this number, and this is very large. This is, well, not difficult to read, but you have to remember the placements of the number, and the numbers are actually grouped into three digits separated by commas. So in this case, you have before 657 you have a comma, and then you have 030 and then comma. You have 811, and before that is a comma. 349, there's also a comma before that. The numbers, these very long numbers, you have to separate 3 numbers by the comma, and you start separating the numbers on the right side. So here you have 7, 5, you have 7, 5, and 3. So you go in this direction to separate the numbers by 3. Or if you don't want the comma, you can also separate the numbers with a space here. The space there. So that's how you write large numbers. You separate it by a comma or a space. So let's read these numbers. By the way, place values of the numbers are very important because they tell you how large or how small the number. In this example, you have this large number, we rewrite it as this, and this one, the place value for these numbers here, the rightmost group is the units place. And then next group to the left, this one, is the thousands place. Thousand. Thousands place. And then to the left of that is the millions place for that group. For this group, you have the billions place. And then for this group, you have the trillions place. So now we can read these numbers. By the way, this number is, we can just read this as 600 657 or 657. This one is 30. This one is 811. This one is 349. And this one is 201. So when we read these numbers, we have to include the place values. The place values of those numbers. So in this case, if we read this, this would be 201 trillion 349 billion 811 million 30,657. That's how you read the number. Be careful with the placement, the place values of the numbers you are reading. So let's go to read examples of large numbers. Here you have some examples. This one is red. You have here 9 digits and they are separated in 3 groups. This one is the units place, this one is the thousands place, and this one is the millions place. As you can see here, units place, thousands place, millions place, billions place, and then you have trillions place. So for this number, you have to include the place value. As I've said, this is 614, but that's in a millions place. That's 614 million. Okay, this is 127 in the thousands place, so that's 127,000. And then you have 509 here. So that's how you read that number. This one, you have this groups in the units group, this one is in the thousands group or place, this one is in the millions place, this one are in the billions place, and this one is in the trillions place. So how do we read these numbers? So here you have 12, but this is in trillions place, so you have 12 trillion. And then this one is 57 in the billions place, so you have 57 billion. This one is 913 in the millions place, so that's 913 million. This one is in the thousands place, that's 800, so it's 800,000. And you have the last group is 104. Next example. You have here 12 digits. You have the first group, 418. This is in the billions place. So you have 418 billion or 418 billion. But the numbers for the millions place and the thousands place are 0, so you don't have to read them. You go automatically to the units place. So that's 418 billion or 418 billion, and now you have 27. So that's 418 billion and 27. Or you can also read this as 418 billion 27. Then you have here, as an example, you have 5-digit number, and the first group contains 3 and the second group contains just 2. You have, for the thousands place, you have 40, and then for the units place, you have 571 or 571. So this is 40,571. So I hope that you know how to read large numbers now. And then we're now going to write large numbers. So you have here as an example, ejemplo, writing large numbers. You have 429 trillion. 429 trillion. That's in the trillions place. This one is in the, and then you have 912 million. There's no mention of billions place. So that means that the billions place, you have to place 0. So you have here 429 trillion and then 912 million, and you now have 14,000 in the thousands place, but you have to put 3 zeros for the units place because it did not mention the units place. So that's how you write the numbers. This, the next one, 20 billion and 8. You have 20 in the billions place. The millions place is not mentioned, so it's automatically 0. And then you have the thousands place is also not mentioned. That's automatically 0 as well. And then you have 8. So to write that, you have to write that you have 20 and 8. 20 billion and 8. Then you have 211 million here. 211 million. That's the millions place. 707,999 for that. And then you have the last example. You have 17,300. This is the thousands place here, and then the units place here is 300. So you have 17,300. So I hope that you learned something in this short lecture. And for the young kids, I hope you have followed, and at least you know how to read and write numbers now. And for the parents, you can assist your child or your children, at least by watching this video over and over. And I hope that it will sink in, and then you'll be able to guide your children in reading and writing numbers, especially large numbers that you can see in their books. So to get more videos, or actually we're going to make more videos for this Mathematics for Humanity. This is just the first episode. Stay tuned for the next episode. We will be doing a lot more mathematics for parents and for kids, and for you to learn the process and to learn it and then convey it to your children, or to convey it to other kids or other people who wants to know mathematics. Subscribe to this channel and share the video to help other kids. And watch out for new math videos very soon.